Hi, thanks for joining me. Do you recognise any of those songs? First of all, if you did, I'm sorry. If you liked them, you probably don't like them anymore. But if you do know them, chances are they either took you back to a specific time, gave you a specific emotion, or changed the way you felt ever so slightly from before you heard the thing that you knew. Now, think of a food that you hate. Does that make you feel different? Okay, now think of a place that you love to go. Does that make you feel different again? Now think of a time when you felt really motivated to do something. It could be anything. It could be you felt really motivated to sit and play on your PlayStation or Xbox for 5 hours. It could be you felt really motivated to talk to your mate on the phone for 2 days. It could be that you felt really motivated to go for a run, to go to the gym, to climb a mountain, anything, but something specific, a specific time when you felt motivated to do something. Got a time in mind? Good. Now take yourself back into that time. I want you to see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, both internally and externally, and if there's any smells or tastes associated with it, think about that as well. So you should find that you've become a little bit motivated. What you've done there is you've actually altered your brain chemistry. So you've released a combination of dopamine and norepinephrine, and together they control the state of motivation. So just by thinking a particular thought, you've changed your emotion and you've changed the chemistry of your body. So you literally change your body by changing your thoughts. Your brain is meant to be a survival mechanism. Okay, your brain's not there to make you happy, it's there to make you survive. So when you see horrific news on Facebook or Twitter or TV or whatever, you see news of another shooting or the economy tanking, something like that, all your attention is immediately on that because your brain is wired to help you survive. Your brain is wired to seek out the worst things that it can worry about and try and get you away from those. To help you survive, you need to be aware of threat, and that's sort of an evolutionary hangover, because when we were living in caves and having to fight for our survival, we needed to be aware of threat. But being aware that there's a rubbish news story going on that we can't do anything about, that doesn't affect our survival, but it still invokes those same feelings. So if you've just thought back to a time, a specific time there when you've seen some bad news that doesn't directly affect you, not something horrible that's happened to a member of your family or anything, but you've just seen a rubbish news story on Facebook or something like that, you will have released norepinephrine and serotonin, and that combined makes you feel anxious. So if you're in the habit of doing that, having those kind of thoughts long term, rather than sort of happy and motivated thoughts, you are continually releasing those chemicals into your body, and doing that long term on a habitual basis can give you, can contribute at least to health issues. So it can contribute to stress related conditions like blood pressure, and some studies even link it to cancer. So what can we do about it though? Because these horrible news stories, they're true, aren't they? So if they're true, we've got to focus on them. Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, you might know, or you might know anyway, that we're exposed to about 2 million bits of information, 2 million every second, and we can only process out of those about 130. So less than 1/100%, a tiny, tiny amount. And the rest of it, the rest of all the information that we're given, we either delete, distort or generalise based on the filters that we've previously set up from our thought patterns. So if you've ever watched a film or shared an experience with anyone, and maybe you thought it was absolutely flipping brilliant and they thought it was an absolute shower of not very goodness, you've just watched the same film, or you've just been through the same experience, you've just been to see the same band or whatever. How can you have such different opinions of it? You've had the same experience. Well, what's happened there is you've had the same external stimuli, the same 2 million bits of information every second, but your filters are set up differently to theirs, so what you've experienced internally is entirely different. And that's true in every single situation. The thoughts you choose in any scenario affect your emotional response to it, and your emotions therefore affect your biochemistry and your physiology, how you're holding your body at any particular time. And thoughts become patterns. So thoughts, the more often we think a particular thought, the more ingrained it becomes, the more myelinated that neural pathway becomes, the more likely it is that we're going to think that way again. So thoughts become patterns, and those patterns become beliefs, and our beliefs about the world are what determine our quality of life. So there's no situation, none, absolutely none at all, where you can't find a more positive perspective. If you feel awful about a situation, no matter what it is, you can find a more positive perspective. So there are people in the world who have turned diagnoses of terminal illness into positive opportunities. So I think of a family friend in this situation who, when they received a terminal diagnosis, they actually used that to motivate them to travel the world with the family. So they could have dwelt on it and they could have let it consume them really quickly, but instead they made their last months some of the best of their life. So have you ever known anyone who is always happy, always upbeat, always full of energy? Really annoying, aren't they? Well, what do they do differently? They choose their thoughts. They choose them better, and choosing their thoughts better, choosing more positive thoughts about any particular situation leads to everything else. Positive thoughts lead to more positive emotions, more positive body conditions, and therefore a more positive life. So do yourself a favour, not just a favour for you, but your family, your friends, everyone close to you. Try going on a negativity fast for 1 week. 1 week, only focus on and speak about the best aspects of every single situation you're in. It might be difficult at first. Yes, it's easy to find things that we don't like about any situation, but with a bit of effort you can find something that you do like or that you do appreciate about every single situation. Even if a situation is not going particularly your way, instead of seeing it as a problem, look for the possibilities, look for how it can help you grow and develop. So try it, just 1 week, give it a go. Now, go on. See you later.